some very easy and basic phrases. Are you ready? Let's start. All right. Are you ready? Great. So let's begin with the alphabet. I will be very slow and clear with my pronunciation. So let me start with the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Ich heiße. And then you say your name. My name is. Say your name. Ich komme aus. You mention the city or the country you're from. I come from. Danke. Thank you. Bitte. Please. Entschuldigung. Entschuldigung. Sorry. Tschüss. Bye. Gute Nacht. Good night. So, I think this is pretty easy, but I don't mind repeating it for you and explaining everything a little more so you can understand the logic behind it and different variables to say that, okay? So, when we say hello, this is a very basic way to say hello. We usually don't really say hi because the German word for hello, for hi, has always been several words like moin moin, servus, grüß Gott, but those are a little more complex, and those are the words more of the locals will use. So I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible for today's lesson. So my darlings, you're gonna say hallo. Wie geht's? Wie geht's? Remember, when you say these two words, wie geht's, make sure to keep the questioning sound, the pressure of the questioning in your words when you say the word geht's, okay? Which means, how are you? Then the other person will say gut, which means good. Or they will say schlecht, bad. But most likely they're not going to say bad because people usually, when they say schlecht, it kind of means like they have to explain job opportunity, right? Or it's a job interview, or you are trying to buy a property or something like that, where you want to make sure they know your last name. But you would not say a last name with your first name. In this first scenario with ich heiße, this is very casual, alright? So you just say ich heiße and your first name, that's it. Okay, ich komme aus, I come from. That one is pretty easy, right? So it's better to say ich komme aus and just say the country, because everybody doesn't know the cities or the village you're from. So like, just to keep it general, keep it easy, you can say ich komme aus Amerika, I come from America. Or ich komme aus England, ich komme aus England means I come from England. Or ich komme aus Indien, I come from India. That's like easy, basic, and everybody will understand you and leave you alone. And that's what you want, because you don't want to be troubled with more German questions and freak out on your vacation. Alright? Now, these are more things to say that, like, if you are the one talking, unless you want to get to know someone, then it kind of obviously changes. Like, let's say you told them what your name is, and then you want to know their name because the other person is such a cute girl and you want to take her out on a date and you want to know what her name is. So then, yeah, then you have to ask her for her name. So then you say, wie heißt du? Wie heißt du? Remember it in your head like a staircase, like 3 steps of stairs. This is how your voice will go higher and higher with the pitch. Alright, wie heißt du? And this is how you really make it sound authentically German. Alright, what's your name? Ich komme aus, I come from America. Then you want to know, where are they from? So you say, woher kommst du? Woher kommst du? Where come you from? This is the literal translation, but German is a quiet, logical, and scientific language. A lot of philosophy, literature, science has been created in Germany. It's based out of Germany, but it's not really like the language of love or the language that just makes the most sense. Alright? Even though a lot of things are very logical, but the language sometimes does not make a lot of sense. But I'm sure you're smart enough, and with the right amount of lessons and the right teacher, you will be able to learn it. I believe in you. Okay, so let's move on. The next one is easy. Danke. Danke. It's a very short word. Danke. Danke means thank you. You can also say Danke schön. Danke schön. Yeah, but some people that are learning German, they struggle with the umlaut, like the vocals with the 2 dots on the alphabets. They struggle making those sounds, and Danke schön is a O with umlaut, and they struggle with that. So I'm not trying to confuse you here, sorry if I'm overwhelming you here, but so for that reason, keep it simple and just say Danke, alright? And then you have to say Bitte, please, this is a very basic bitte, alright? But then let's say you are in a conversation, like at the cashier, okay, in the store, and you buy something, and then you say danke, right? The other person may say bitte, or you are helping someone carry their bags, like an old grandmother or something, and then you say, she would say danke, like thank you, and then you say bitte, or you can say bitte sehr, like you are welcome, or like you're very welcome, right? That's what it means. So it's really different to say bitte sehr and bitte schön. It's like a different way of saying bitte, like a different way of saying please. And I guess in English it's more like please, or you're welcome. So that's very important. But yeah, just keep it simple and just go with the bitte. The next one is, it looks quite difficult, but believe me, it's very easy. Entschuldigung, Entschuldigung, Entschuldigung means sorry. A lot of people also say Verzeihung, Verzeihung, which would be pardon me. Okay, this is more of a, I would say, better way of saying it. A lot of people say Entschuldigung, but Verzeihung sounds more sophisticated, and mostly like the older generation, or like the more sophisticated or educated people would use Verzeihung. You will maybe see this more in Bavaria, or like any city where older people, seniors, prefer to use Verzeihung. So, having said that, when you say Entschuldigung, this is something you say when you're like bump into someone accidentally. Entschuldigung. Or if you want to ask someone that works at a store, where do you have the Pampers? Where do you have the baby shampoo? Entschuldigung. And they will turn around, and then you can ask them. Or let's say you want to ask them something and you don't know how to say it in German because you're just learning. Keep it simple, but just say Entschuldigung, and then just go on and say anything you want to ask them in English. It will make a good impression, and they will see that you're making the effort to learn the language, and they will be helpful. Coming to the end, my darlings. Tschüss, tschüss means bye, bye. You can say ciao, which is more Italian, but a lot of Germans use it. Of course, you have auf Wiedersehen, which is see you soon, see you again, which is the famous, very poetic, romantic sounding au revoir in French. But we're in Germany, so we will say questions.